Did you see what happened today? What happens when the government tries to paint a music mogul as a big gangster mob boss? Today the jury says not guilty. What the fuck? What a huge joke. I really cannot stomach what happened today, and I'm an attorney with 40 years experience, and I've never seen anything like this. This wasn't a trial. This was a collapse of strategy, power, and proof. Diddy just beat the biggest charges of his life. What a huge, huge, crazy disappointment. The prosecution's decision to pursue racketeering and sex trafficking charges completely backfired. They portrayed Diddy as leading an organized criminal enterprise akin to a mob boss, a grand narrative that required proving a coordinated conspiracy. But jurors only saw inconsistent personal relationships, not a criminal organization. Their inability to clearly tie Diddy's conduct to a criminal enterprise made it impossible to secure convictions on those highest charges. On top of everything, prosecutors relied heavily on emotional testimony from accusers and narrative framing rather than airtight documentary evidence of coercion. Meanwhile, the defense countered with messages suggesting consensual involvement, especially in freak-offs parties, undermining the narrative of forced participation. So yeah, the interstate transportation for prostitution under the Mann Act, the jury did convict him on those 2 counts, signaling that this was the most legally sound ground. What a huge waste of time. Rather than leaning so heavily on emotional testimony, they needed solid, unambiguous financial and travel records linking Diddy directly to coercive actions. Prosecutors lacked a bridge to show these actions were part of a structured criminal enterprise. So, how did the defense secure the verdict? The defense was able to cleverly push a lean, consistent defense. Remarkably, the defense called no witnesses, not even Diddy. Instead, they relied solely on cross-examination and documentary evidence, projecting a coherent narrative of consensual relationships and personal dynamics. And the best part is when the defense highlights the revealing texts and messages, their strategic use of text messages, evidence from Diddy and accusers paint a picture of mutual consent, casting doubt on prosecutors' claims of coercion. Also, the defense was so good at containing the scope by framing the case as toxic romance rather than a criminal enterprise. They got the jury to focus on whether the prosecution met their burden, not emotional narrative. So what are the broader implications for other survivors? Today's dramatic verdict sends a strong signal. Survivors of powerful individuals must provide unambiguous evidence not only of wrongdoing, but of legal elements like coercion or criminal conspiracy. In my humble opinion, criminal charges involving emotional coercion or influence are precarious. As we saw, complex power dynamics and consensual overlaps can unintentionally dilute criminal claims. Prosecutorial caution is key. Future cases may avoid overbilling, overcharging to keep the jury focused on provable, discrete charges. While Diddy walked away acquitted on the biggest charges, it reflects the court's demand for legal clarity and proof beyond a reasonable doubt. For survivors, this case highlights the challenges of translating abuse into criminal conviction and underscores the importance of well-strategized prosecutions and the strength of civil pathways. The system didn't fail because there was no truth. It completely failed because the truth wasn't packaged for a courtroom. And in that silence between what we know and what we can prove, power walks free and survivors are left to bleed behind closed doors. The prosecutors showed up like it was law and order, but brought a script with no ending and no clue. They underdelivered and let a predator backslide out the front door. This wasn't a trial, it was a performance, and the jury gave it 0 stars. All that money easily bought. Confusion and chaos. The women brought their trauma to court, and Diddy brought a yacht full of lawyers. And in the end, The system didn't acquit him. It totally surrendered. Turns out in Diddy's case, you just need better lawyers, messier victims, and a jury that hates homework. Justice? Nah. What justice? Just another rich man literally moonwalking through the cracks while everyone else gets buried beneath them. They had a monster in their sights and still somehow missed. The prosecutors showed up swinging like heroes, but tripped over their own egos, sloppy charges, and courtroom theater. What is the message from this case? If you're rich enough, powerful enough, and your victims are broken enough, justice doesn't fail you. It bows. It surrenders the fucking damn fight. Ah!